We already know. I've been talking about this for a while now. This entire level here, you'll notice this is going to be the best opportunity to buy. Going to be at around $5. And we've been pounding the table on that ever since it broke its uptrend. Because it was trending to the upside for since yeah, since the start of mid-February, it just kept going. And as long as it doesn't break the trend, it's just going to keep going until it breaks it. It broke it here on this big red candle. When that happened, that's when you knew it's time to get out and let's just wait for it to come down nice and cheap. Today, unfortunately, it could not hold here at 570. I told you guys this could be a bear flag, and unfortunately, yes, it was a bear flag here, and we did break down. At least that's what I'm seeing. And it should come $5 and under, like 480 to $5. That's going to be where I'm going to be looking to add. It should get down there in the next 2 days. That's what I predict, at least, unless something catastrophic happens in the market. We should see this come down here, and that's it. I don't think I have to go too deep into that. We've been pounding the table on that level. Let's just look at the MACD real quick. Yep, we're still trending downward. The 200, the 20, we're below the 20. The 50 might be the one that acts as support here. Let me just clean up the chart here. So there's the 50. So the 50 right now is at around $5. So it seems like everything's lining up for the big five. The RSI is coming down. It's at the RSI right now at market close. It was at 46. So yeah, another couple days and we might get into the 30s range, which is what I mentioned. I'm like, if we get into the 30s, I mean, we got a 50 EMA there. We got previous horizontal support there. We got previous demand there. We got RSI getting cooled down. We just got so much lining up for a buy opportunity is what it comes down to, because that's what we're looking for anyways. We're looking for the best opportunity to buy. And let me get rid of that. There's my ovals. No, I don't need ovals. Yeah, there's the trend, and it broke it on that red candle. But there we go. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for my rectangles. So yeah, you notice there's just a lot lining up. A lot is lining up right now. And I believe that a limit order at $5 would not be a bad idea. Do keep in mind it's not guaranteed that it's going to hold here, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to buy at 5. And then if it doesn't hold $5, if it does not hold $5, just to be, this is the bearish case. If it doesn't hold the line here at $5, it's gonna get ugly. If it can't hold $5, then I would probably just take the small loss. Take the small loss and move on. Because there's no reason to hold at that point if it can't even hold what should be a very strong support area. Because we tried once, twice, 3 times here. We tried so many times in the past to get above $5, and we just couldn't. If we needed a catalyst to get us up above $5. So we'll see if buyers step in on that day. Probably what, Tuesday or Wednesday? We're gonna see it at 5. I'm tempted to put a limit order at $5 and just sit on it and see how it closes at the end of the day. If we zoom in on the smaller time frames, yeah, you'll notice we just keep going down. Where buyers just aren't stepping in big. What we want to see on the smaller time frames is this. We want to see it come down, and then buyers say nope, and they step in, and even with the selling pressure that continues to come in, it still continues to run and create a higher low and higher high. That is what we're looking for. And as you guys recall, I did buy in down here, and I flipped it for like 12 cents or 15 cents per share, because I recognize, like, hey, this isn't, it's still going to continue to go down. Let me just get out with a small 12-cent per share gain. Let me pull out my price targets here. So this could not break above 612, so I flipped it. The bounce here is going to be important. If we do bounce here, I would look to sell at around 575, and then it would have to break that to go to 614, and then we would have to break that to go 7. Those are like the sell targets. So we're looking to sell around there. Those are our targets. We're looking to buy around here, down here, somewhere around 5. So if you flip it for 75 cents a share, I mean that's almost $1 per share gain. You buy 1,000 shares, you just made a quick what, $1,000. So you got to think of it that way if you're looking to flip it. If you're just a long-term investor, then yeah, then just start accumulating at 5. Start accumulating at 5, but if it doesn't hold 5, do not accumulate. If you're an investor, do not accumulate at 5. If it doesn't hold, you will know. You will know. I'll tell you when the time comes. It would be so bad if it doesn't hold 5. Like the one time we break above 5, it can't even hold it. That would be very bearish case at that point, and it could start coming down as low as 3, and then possibly back down to 2. Do I believe that'll happen? I don't think so. The technicals are all just lining up for a buy at $5. So there you go. That's the information you need if you're as an investor. $5 might be the best play to start accumulating. If it doesn't hold that, then hold off. Don't don't go crazy. Hold off and let it come down cheaper. As a trader, again, everything's lining up for a bounce here. Okay, now let's look at this article real quick. NVIDIA invested in Soundhound AI stock, but should you? The chip giant made a relatively small investment, spending nearly $3.7 million to take a 0.6% stake in the company. Where are the numbers? I'm looking for the numbers here. Soundhound AI's strength in the automobile and restaurant verticals helped it grow its revenue by 47% in 2023 to $45.9 million. Meanwhile, for 2024, it forecasted $63 million and $77 million in revenue, which is nearly 53% growth at the midpoint. It said it was looking for revenue to exceed $100 million in 2025. So think about that for a second. They're still growing, and they expect to continue to grow their revenue over not only this year, but also in 2025 in excess of 100 million. They didn't give us an exact number. They just said in excess of 100 million in 2025, which is not that far from now. So they see growth happening in the future. I don't care about the shorts. I don't care what they think. I don't care about the short report. The shorts are going to say whatever it takes to get people to sell and bring the price down so they can profit. That's just their game. That's what they're trying to do. I'm looking at the numbers here. While the solid growth is appreciated, Soundhound AI's cumulative subscriptions and bookings backlog of 661 million is more interesting. This metric represents the potential revenue the company expects to generate over the duration of its signed contracts. Currently, the average duration of its contracted backlog is 6.5 years, so much of the revenue from these contracts should be recognized before the end of 2031, although some contracts extend out longer. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything. I don't really care about price to sales ratios. I don't care about ratios. I care about whether the company is going to continue to grow and make more money. I mean, if you invest in a hot dog stand, which I know some of you are going to make fun of me, man, you keep bringing up the hot dogs. What's with you and hot dogs? Okay, maybe I need to go buy some buns and some dogs, and I need to eat hot dogs so I can shut up about the hot dog stand example that I always use. But yeah, either way, if your friend opens up a hot dog stand and you invest in it, you expect, and you're keeping track of his financials year over year, quarter over quarter, and you see that it's growing, you're probably going to invest more. If your friend tells you, hey, can you invest a little more so I can, upgrade this, that, or the other, the grill, I don't know, I want to offer more product, I want to expand, and you might look at him and say, well, actually, according to your financials, you keep growing, so here's some more money. Like, that's a very simple example. And I know some of you are going to make fun of me. Hot dogs, bro. Just you want a dog in your mouth. But seriously, it's growing. I know the share price right now isn't, the healthiest for people who want to go long. But think of it this way. It's another opportunity to add cheaper. To buy at $5 and under, I think is going to be the steal of a lifetime. And then when we start getting more PRs, it's going to run, and you're not going to be the one chasing. You're going to be the one sitting back just watching as your money doubles. Because that's really what this stock likes to do. if you think about it for a second, this stock does not like to. No one wants it when there's no news. Right now, there hasn't been a PR in a while, and it hasn't moved anywhere but down since then. This whole move here has been because of Nvidia's investment. You know, this is what the stock likes to do. Look at this. It ran from 9.0 to $5 and then came back down to 165. Then it ran again to 473 and then it came back down. And that's just the cycle of this stock. When no one wants it, that's when you want to buy. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to wait. We're going to be patient. We're going to buy when no one wants it. And then we'll sell on the way. You can still make money on the way down. Like I said, I made money on that flip here, a 15-cent flip. I kind of had no choice. Like either I hold that bag and as it goes lower, or I just flip it for 15 cents and get out and buy in cheaper. Sometimes that's just how it is. It's better than setting a stop loss and taking a 10% loss. I don't mention stop losses. That's because I usually don't use stop losses, mainly because I kind of eyeball it. And I usually trade off of the daily, sometimes the monthly, weekly, but usually my stop loss is if it doesn't hold, this level, then I'm going to sell and take the loss. I don't have like a percentage stop loss. It's more of a, if it doesn't hold this big level, I'm out and I'll just wait for it to get to the next big level. That's really what it comes down to. All right, guys, that is it for the video. As always, like and subscribe.